Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and we're continuing with a look back at Galactica 1980, the single season 10 episodes that were formed as a sequel to 1978's Battlestar Galactica. So both these series are only one season each, and this one has only 10 episodes. Some would say that they are lucky that it's only 10 episodes. Anyway, we're coming to the episodes where we start focusing on the young kids, and this is where the series tended to go into more of a child-friendly, in fact almost kiddie-friendly format. So the Super Scouts Part 1 and 2 features a lot of kids from the fleet. They call the Super Scouts because they were dressed to look like Boy Scouts. When I say Boy Scouts, there are girls and boys in it. So Dr. Z and Nadama realize that it's now time to start integrating some of the younger colonists into Earth history, because they will need more time to adjust to the Earth's atmosphere. And of course, the gravity being different, they're going to be finding that they can leap taller, they can jump higher, and they can do a lot. They'll be much more stronger than Earth's children. So it is time to start slowly integrating them into into the Earth, basically. Sorry, I'm battling a little bit of a cold. So in the Super Scouts, we have Troy and Dylan leading a group of around 12 children, I believe. Yeah, 12 kids, all like around pre-teen mostly. And there's this one little kid called Starla. She is the cutest thing. Of course, she's probably my age, or maybe even slightly older than me. But she definitely was the cutest little thing. And the few episodes that you actually do see her. So the ship that they're on, which is called the Delphi, serves as the schooling ship for the fleet's children, and apparently there's around 137 kids in total. And these 12 kids that Dylan was actually giving a class on, because the ship was stopped for some repairs, and unfortunately a Cylon patrol happened to run into them. They attack them, and while they're escaping, the ship gets destroyed. They escape in a shuttle, and they have to crash land on Earth. So Troy and Dylan manage to get some clothing for the kids to blend in with the Earth culture, and they see uniforms for Boy Scouts, so they take them, and all the kids are basically dressed in those, and they pretend to be camp counselors. They take them into the woods and a town with the help of Jamie Hamilton. However, the shuttle was tracked by the Air Force, and there is a colonel, I think it's I forgot, he's a little bit of a Swami little character. Forgot his name. And Troy actually accidentally tried to go in looking for some currency in exchange for some of the gold that he has with him. He manages to accidentally rob the bank, and this alerts the cops, and this also alerts the Air Force. So what happens is the kids form a camp over there, but they start to fall sick because there is some poisonous waste material from a nearby plant that's leaking into the pond over there. So they have to take these 3 kids into the hospital, and of course they will be able to find out that these kids are not normal, because of course they are alien. So there's a lot of funny things happening here and there, even if the situation of the three kids who fall really ill are dire. And what happens is, towards the end, they have to alert the Galactica to come down on a different ship. This one, excuse me, looks more like a flying saucer that you would see, and I actually feel that this flying saucer is very similar to the one that you see in Third Encounters. What is it? Encounters of the Third Kind. The science fiction movie of Steven Spielberg's. Kind of looks very similar to that, like a saucer. Excuse my cold. So the the plant manager, he actually initially he looks like to be a person who, you know, not a very his name is Mr. Brooks, I think, and he doesn't seem to be the kind of person who would want to help. He was initially set up as the villain because he kind of knows a little bit what's going on, but in the end, when he sees the kids are ill, he does feel a little bit, remorseful, and he helps them unwittingly, takes them away from the cops. They go to this top of a mountain where the larger ship lands, and he is introduced to Adama and Dr. Z, and there the children can get the treatment that they want to, and then they make their way out. The captain does try to follow them. The Air Force people and the cops do try to follow them, but they don't actually get to see what happens. So it's a very kind of kid-friendly, it really became, and thereby the quality does drop down, to be honest. It's a very kid-friendly episode, double episode, and to be honest, from now on, after the pilot and say for the last episode, the episodes in between tend to become a little bit more corny, a little bit more cheesy even, and quite kid-friendly, as you will see in the next episodes as well. So do watch it, however, because 1980 corny, cheesy stuff is still good, especially when put into a science fiction framework. I mean, even though I understand perfectly that the quality drops quite a bit, and I wish that they didn't have the focus on the chip kids that as much. However, like I mentioned, Starla is very cute, very sweet and adorable, and watching the kids is kind of fun. However, because of the drop in quality from from previous episodes, I can see why the show got cancelled. Even the actors knew that they was going to get cancelled. They all knew that they were in for a lot of problems. Couple of things to note on this particular episode. I believe so they don't actually mention Xavier over here. Like I mentioned in the previous video, they kind of dropped the Xavier angle for a little bit. However, he does come back in the form of a different character. Different actor. And I assume that the crew of the Delphi do die out because the ship actually explodes, but I don't know. And it's got a little bit of an environment, conservation kind of theme with the chemicals that are being dropped into the water. Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, there were 137 school kids, so probably the preteen population of the colonies into the fleet are around only that much, and that's a very small number compared to the number of colonies that they actually have. So, in the 30 years since the previous show ended, it doesn't seem that there have been that many kids that were actually born in the fleet. So anyway, that's it for the Super Scouts. I'm trying to keep this shorter to around less than 10 minutes. Just give you a gist of the episodes. These are not some of my more popular, my more favorite episodes. These are some of my least favorite episodes. I would say I would give this a 6 out of 10, and I am being generous. There is a funny song that the kids sing, which will come in later in another episode as well, and it is corny as hell. Anyway, but that's it for the Super Scouts. I'll see you again pretty soon. Good night.